Hi everyone, Namaskar. I'm Sandeep. I'm a maths teacher turned entrepreneur turned front-end web developer. I'm not an expert in programming or JavaScript, but personally, I face this question many times in job interviews. So I thought, why not? I can share my learning with you all. If you are a fresher or a college graduate and trying to get a job in web development or front-end development, or an individual already working in the field but trying to switch the job, then I'm 100% sure that you would have faced this question many times in the interviews. So, what is event delegation, capturing, and bubbling in JavaScript? Right? So, in order to fully understand this, so there are three things. First one is event delegation, event capturing, and event bubbling. So let's try to break this and try to understand one by one. So first, let's try to understand what is event. You know what are the events in JavaScript, right? Let's say this is a web page. So if we click on this button, then that click is an event. If we scroll this web page like this, then this scroll is an event. Like, right? If we hover this button, if we take your mouse pointer on the button, then this is an event. Take away the mouse pointer away from the button, then this is an event. Okay, so there are so many events in JavaScript. You would have used many of these events in your daily life or your side project or a project which you are working for a company. So let me ask you a question. So there are three different sections and there is a button. So there is this one outer section. Okay, we can name it a great grandparent. Okay, then inside it there is another div which we can name it grandparent. Inside it, there is another div which we can name it child div. And then inside the child div, there is a button which says click me. Okay. So button is nested inside these three levels. So what happens? Let's say if I attach an event listener to all these elements. Okay. To the great grandparent, grandparent, child, and the button. Okay. So you can see here, right? So I have added a event listener to all these four elements to the when once you click on the great grandparent in the outer section like this, so you will get a message on the console that hey everyone, I am great grandparent, god bless you all. Don't worry about the messages or the language of the messages, this is just random. If you click on this div grandparent, then it will log a message name, hey, I'm your grandparent and I'm too old to run. Okay. Same way, when you click on a child, then it will print a message. Hey, I'm just a child. I love to eat and play. And when you click on a button, then that will print. Hey, I'm just a simple button. Even you just clicked me. Not cool, man. Okay. So the question is, in which order all these messages are going to print on the console if I click on a button? Think about it. Pause the video and think. What would be the order? So, do you know the answer? Okay, let's click this button. So, once I click this, you should have you should have guessed that the message which is associated with the button will be printed first. Hey, I am a simple button and you just clicked me. Not cool. Then, since this button is inside inside this child div, indirectly, when you click on a button, you are also clicking on this child div, right? So then the event listener on this child div is also going to execute. That's why this message is being printed. Hey, I'm just a child and I love to eat and play. And you can see this child div is inside this grandparent div. Okay. So in the by the same rule, once you click on the button, So that's a event on the button, and then on a child div, then on a grandparent div, and the same way on a great grandparent div. So all the messages are going to print on the console in the same order. First on the button, then child, then this grandparent div, and then at finally great grandparent div. So the question is why these messages are printing in this order, not the other way around. So let's take a step backward and try to understand the history of web browsers. So in the early days, when the web was a very new thing, there was two prominent player in the browser market. One was the Netscape, which was the most popular one, and then there was Microsoft, which was trying to get the market share by introducing its own browser, Internet Explorer. Since there were no regulation at that time, both the browsers implemented their own model to handle the JavaScript event. So Netscape proposes that events should be handled in a way from top to bottom. I mean, once you click a child element, then first the event listener on the root element or on the parent element will be executed first and then on the child element. So Microsoft said, no, I'll do the just opposite of that. Okay. So they said the event will be executed on the button first, then at the immediate parent, and then its parent, and then so and so on up to the root of the web page. So since both the browsers were fighting each other to gain the market share, so what happened then? W3 came to rescue it and to resolve the fight. So W3 said, okay, here is the compromise. I will give a proposal which include both event model, capturing and bubbling, and let the developer choose which they want to use it. So in order to understand event delegation, we need to first understand the event propagation, also known as capturing and bubbling. So let's assume there is a web page, okay, just like I just told you, and then there is a parent div, then there is a child div. Inside that child div, there is this button. So this is a button. So, and all these elements have its own click event. This has its own click event. This has its own click event. This child has its own click event, and then this button has its own click event. So, what happens when you click this button? Then the event, when you click this button, the event listener on this button will execute. Then it will bubble up to its child, and then it will bubble up to its parent, and this will bubble up to its parent, and so on and so on. It will go up to document and even the HTML object or the root element. So this process of going event from bottom to top is known as bubbling. Okay, and the capturing is the just opposite of that. So once you click this button, first the event will execute here at the top level, then its immediate child, then it will execute down the chain, and then at last at the button at the fourth level. So like this, it will trickle down. So it will trickle down to this one and then to this one. So the process of event execution from top to bottom is known as capturing. Okay. So There are three phases of event propagation, and these phases will always execute in the same way. So the first one is capturing, the second one is target, and the third one is bubbling. And, and these are the three different of event propagation. So these phases will always execute in the same way. Doesn't matter if you are bubbling the event or if you are capturing that. I'll explain in a minute, and even I will give you a visual demo to better understand this. So as a developer, you need to decide where you want to register your event, whether you want to register in the capturing phase or whether you want to register in the bubbling phase. So now the question comes, how do we use it, right? How do we use it? So how can you use this thing in the code, right? That is the most important thing, because theoretical concept is okay, but if you don't know how to use it and in which scenario, which one to use, everything is worthless, right? So you know that we can add a event listener to any DOM element or any HTML element by a function known as, by using document dot add event listener, right? So this function takes three arguments. Basically, by default, you can pass two or three or more arguments. Generally, we pass two arguments to this. Okay, I'll tell you the three argument case where where this is necessary and when where this is useful. So the first one is the name of event, and the second one is callback function, which will execute once that event is triggered. Okay, and the third one is, which we rarely use, that is the use capture option. By default, this is false. So we can check this in the browser. What is the signature of add event listener? So add event listener. Okay, if you go through the first result in the Google, so you see, right? So this is the syntax: target dot add event listener, type, this is the type of event, and the listener, which is the callback function, which will execute. And then look at the second last row, this one. So this third option will specify whether we want to register this event listener in the capture phase or in the bubbling phase. If you do not pass this third argument, by default, it is registered in the bubbling phase. Let me show you. Also, this event listener is not a part of this document object. You can add this event listener to any of the target. So this is the target. Okay. You can add the event listener to any DOM element. You can add like this button dot add event listener. Okay. This will also work. Okay. So this is just for reference, that document dot event listener, button dot event listener, or you selected any DOM element with its ID or class name. So let me give you the demo how you can use the bubbling and the capturing. Okay. So as you can see, this is the example which we showed earlier, that what happens when we click on this button, what would be the order of the messages. So this is the example which I showed you earlier. What will happen if we click on this button? What would be the order of the messages being printed on the console, right? So the order was from bottom to top. So by default, why why it was bottom to top? Due to bubbling, correct? Because as you can see, the first four lines, what I did, I selected these four elements. So in the first four lines, as you can see, I have selected the four elements by using their ID name. Okay. So has great grandparent is the ID name. Okay. You can see I have assigned these IDs to these HTML elements here. Okay. So this query selector is the function or method by which you can select any. So query selector, so document.query selector is a method or a function by which you can select any element by using class name, by using even the name. I don't have a need to use the ID. I can also use the class name. Okay. So for that, what I need to do, just pass dot class name. Okay. Or even I can just directly access the HTML element by its name. I can just access the section just like this. Okay. So it will work in the same way. If we click on this, you can see. Let's reverse that. Okay. So now I have selected the four HTML element, that is the great grandparent, grandparent, child, and the button element. Now from line number 10 to the bottom, what I did, I added the event listener. I registered the event listener. I passed the two arguments. One is the target, which is specified here. Sorry, not target, the type of event, which is the name of the event. So I'm registering the click event here. Okay. So the click event, and this is the listener function. So this is the inline function or anonymous function, which I just described as an arrow function. So this is going to execute once this great grandparent is clicked. So as you can see, I had passed only two options. So by default, this is a bubbling event. What happens if I ask you, I just want to print the reverse order. First, the message on the topmost section should be printed, then by its child, then by its child, and at last the target element, which is the button which we just clicked. So what we need to do, we need to register these all the four event listener in the capturing page. For that, what we can do, we can just pass a third argument, that is the huge capture, and we can make this true. Okay, this way. So let's make this true here and here. Okay. Now all the four events are registered as a capturing event. Now if I click on the button, just see what happens. So if I click on the button, you see this, hey everyone, I am a great grandparent, God bless you all. So this is the message which is being printed once we click on the outermost element. And then the second message is on the grandparent div, right? Then the child, and at last the button element, which is the target element. So as you can see, right? The point to remember is bubbling is from bottom to top and capturing is top to bottom. Understood? Okay, so let's try to understand what is event delegation. But before that, first try to understand what the delegation means. Okay, so if you search Google for the word delegation, okay, so it says a group of people who have been selected to speak or take decisions for a larger group of people, especially at a meeting, right? So the second definition is giving somebody with a lower job or position a particular task to do. So in real world, what we do, we appoint someone on the behalf of a certain crowd or certain people to speak for them, just like a leader, right? Let's say in United Nations, a delegations from different countries comes up. They represent a single country, and they speak of whole country. So these persons called are called delegations. So how is this relevant to our JavaScript, right? In programming, that's what we are trying to figure out. So let's say consider a scenario. You have an e-commerce website, and on the home page there are certain products. Like there is this is the catalog of products. So these are all the products, and so on. Many products. Okay. Once you click a product, what it happens? It take you to the product detail page. Okay, and this is being taken care by a click event listener. So what happens if you click on this product? This will add it to the cart. Okay, in your shopping cart. And this is done by the click event listener. Let's say if there are 100 products on this page, then you need to register 100 event listener, right? Or if there are 1,000, then you need to register 1,000 event listener, and so on. So this is not the efficient way to do that, because JavaScript is a single threaded language, right? This type of coding or this type of source code is not maintainable. So if you want to change the behavior of on click event to all the product, then what you need to do, you need to go and update the same thing in all the 100 or 1,000 event listeners. So how can we solve this problem? Right? So what we do, these all products or the catalog of products are wrapped inside a parent div. And we just saw if we click on these products, any of these products, okay, then that event is going to bubble up to the parent. Okay, so what we are going to do, we will not register each and individual event listener to these products for these elements. We will remove those event listener. What we will do, we will add a event listener to the parent, a single event listener to the parent. So what we just did, we appointed the parent div to be the delegate of all these hundred or thousands of product elements. So the process of moving the work or moving the event listener from child elements to the parent is known as event delegation. So let's see in the code how this works. Okay, so I had updated same example a little bit. So for the sake of demo, I just added 4 buttons rather than adding 100 or 1,000 of buttons or elements. So in order to do something, once we click on these buttons, let's say just for demo, to print a message. Okay, I am button 1, I am button 2, I am button 3, or I am button 4. So how can we achieve this? The one way is to select all those 4 buttons, which I did just using query selector, and then at the bottom just add the event listener to each and every button. So this is for button 1, this is for button 2, this is for button 3 and 4. Okay, I need to remove this fourth parameter so that this event listener can be registered in the bubbling page. So I just modified our example a little bit. Rather than adding hundred or thousands of elements or products, I've added 4 buttons for the sake of this demo. And what I want, once I click on these buttons, a message should be printed. Right? Simple. So the first step is you need to select those elements using query selector and then add the event listener at each and every button. Button 1, button 2, and button 3, and so on. Okay. So this will just print a message. Hey, I am a simple button 1. Hey, I am a simple button 2. Hey, I am a simple button 3. Just like that. So if I click on button 1, button 1, button 2, button 3, and button 4, right? Let's say if there were thousands of buttons, then there were thousands of event listeners for each and every button. So let's delegate these event listener to the parent. So the parent of these all buttons is the child element. I mean, the ID of that div is child element, as you can see here in the HTML. Okay. So what I'll do, let's comment this out completely. Okay, and we had already added the event listener for the child here. Okay, all right. So let's comment out this console message as well. So what happens once these buttons are getting clicked? The event is delegating or bubbling up to its immediate parent. Okay, let's remove this true as well. Otherwise, this will be registered in the capturing phase. So once we click on this, we got a event object, this E. So what I need to do, console.log, and then I need to print this message. Okay, hey, I am just a simple button 1, button 2, button 3, or button 3. So I can do with this by using string template or string literal. Hey, I am just a simple button. And then hmm, what I'm going to do, event object dot target. So it will give you the target element on which the event is getting triggered, and then I'll access the ID of that element. So the ID is btn1, btn2, btn3, and btn4. Let's see if this works. So if I click on button 1, so it says, hey, just I'm a simple button btn1. If I click on this, if I click on this or this, and so on. So you see, right? Rather than adding four event listener here, we just delegated the work to its parent. So the single event listener is going to handle the work of four buttons. So this process is known as event delegation. I hope you will be able to explain this question in the interview. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you guys. Good luck with your interviews.